Brian moved on from his other kids, like that he offered to miscarry. Is Brian McKnight mourning his son Niko at all? What's up, my beautiful soul family? How's everybody feeling today? As we all know, it's been a couple weeks now since Brian McKnight's second son, Niko, not McKnight, passed away from cancer. I think it was the end of May he passed away. Anyways, Brian McKnight issued a statement that he did try to reach out to Niko and he did try to get him medical treatment, but him and his mother refused. However, most of Brian McKnight's biological children are insisting that Brian McKnight never tried to reach out to Niko before he passed away. Brian McKnight basically didn't care about him or anything. So what I thought I would do in this video is I want to look into Brian McKnight's feelings. Is Brian McKnight at all mourning the loss of his son? Does Brian McKnight care? Did he try to reach out to Niko? Or is Brian McKnight just saying that he did to save face in public? Now, y'all know, of course, before I start this reading, I need to put out my disclaimer. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Everything I state in this video is just my interpretation of the cards. Nothing I state in this video have been proven to be fact as of now. So now that we got that disclaimer out the way, let's shuffle these cards and let's see, how does Brian McKnight feel about his son's passing? All right, so let's pull the cards and let's see if we get the answers that we see. You got the Star card reversed. You got the Seven of Pentacles. You got the Ace of Swords. Let me see. You got the Four of Pentacles. You got the Ace of Wands reversed. Let me see here. Let's see what the true story is. Did Brian reach out to Niko? Did he care? You know what I mean? Is he mourning his son? Is there any grief? Does he even... Okay. Let me see. Let's see here. All right. Somebody that he walked away from. His mentality is that he walked away. This is crazy. I think I'm getting an answer here. All right. So I'm done pulling the last row. And I'm gonna read over these cards. First of all, the Star card came up in reverse. I'm feeling like the answer is a no, because usually when the Star card is upright, it's a yes and it's about a bright future. But with it being reversed, it's about being hopeless. You know what I mean? Being all hope being lost. You know what I mean? Basically no future in it. And then you got next to it the Seven of Pentacles. Next to that is the Ace of Swords. So there was, let me see. So I'm getting no energy from the Star reverse. But then you got the Seven of Pentacles next to the Ace of Swords, and then the Four of Pentacles. So I'm feeling like Brian was selfish and he's mean-spirited. You know what I mean? I feel like there was some communication there. You know what I mean? But it was more so about him trying to dictate the situation, I feel like. And I feel like that's why Niko kind of you know what I mean, walked away from it or whatever. I'm seeing right here, you got the Ace of Cups, which is about somebody walking away. And then you got the Seven of Wands next to it. The Six of Wands next to it, which is about some kind of victory, yes card, or keeping up appearances. I feel like Brian McKnight does not want to lose his celebrity. You know what I mean? This is what I'm feeling like. So I'm feeling like he's telling that side of the story to make himself look more like he's this caring father when he wasn't. This is what I'm seeing allegedly in the cards. The way Brian really feels is he walked away from them kids. You know what I mean? I think he's focused on, you know what I mean, the family he is with now, and he's focused on his career. I feel like that's, you know what I mean, Brian moved on from his other kids, like most of his biological children. Yeah, that was his son, but I feel like, you got the Ace of Wands reversed, which means I'm feeling like I don't feel like there was a lot of communication between him and his son. You know what I mean? They didn't patch things up. There wasn't harmony. I'm feeling like he's just painting this picture like it is. But that's not what really happened. You know what I mean? Like I said, he didn't even really want to give out nothing towards, Niko. He didn't want to give no money towards them. I feel like Niko was having an issue paying for his treatment. Like there was something going on financially with Niko, and I feel like I don't feel like Brian McKnight reached out to him. I feel like he reached out to Brian for help, and I don't feel like Brian cared to help him. His mentality is that he been walked away from him. I feel like he's just not. He don't want to take an accountability that he's been washed his hands of them kids. You know what I mean? So him and Niko wasn't really speaking. Now I'm not going to say that he didn't hear from. What, like I said, I'm getting the feeling that it was Niko that called him. You know what I mean? When he claiming that he offered him this, care, this, that, and the third. I think he's twisting it around. Allegedly. This is what I'm getting a gut feeling of, and this is what I'm seeing in the cards. Brian twisted it around. I feel like Niko reached out to him for help, and it was a bunch of crap with him. Like, hold on. So, got the hangman, let it go. Something. Several ties, let it go. You know what I mean? Liberate yourself from it. There was always that was the conflict between you got the Queen of Wands reversed. His wife too. His wife was very nasty and rude to them. He didn't try to, I don't see that he tried to help Niko. I'm saying that he was very egotistical. He was very smart. Him and his wife was very smug to him. Niko allegedly was the one who reached out to Brian, trying to get Brian to help him because he couldn't afford, I feel like he couldn't afford some of his treatments. You know what I mean? And he was trying to get his dad to help him. He asked his dad for help. He didn't have no other options. And Brian was being a jerk. He was being a butthole. I mean, you guys know what I'm saying. He was trying to put a bunch of stipulations on it. Okay, I could give you money, but, this is what I feel like. I feel like it was a bunch of stipulations on it. You know what I mean? He was being smart. Him and the wife both was kind of being, vindictive and smart and nasty. I don't know how, so don't get me to asking how. But I'm just feeling like Brian McKnight was being a jerk to his own son when his son reached out and asked him for help, allegedly. I feel like this is something that is going to come out. It's going to be told. Niko didn't have any other options, so he reached out to his father as a last resort, hoping his father will help him. This is what I'm feeling like. But of course, he's never really been there for his kids the way his kids need him to be. You know what I mean? And I think Niko naively believed that maybe this time I could get through to dad, like I'm dying, allegedly. You know what I mean? He just gave him a lot of obstacles, you know what I mean? Put a lot of obstacles in the way for him to get better. As a result, he passed away. You know what I mean? Brian put his marriage before his child's life, allegedly. He had the resources. He would have been able to help Niko a lot. I'm feeling like Niko could have got better treatment if Brian McKnight actually would have helped his son, allegedly. What I'm seeing in the cards, what my gut is saying. Like I said, this is all alleged. All right. Something about the mother. Now, you got the fool card, and so him and his mother did reach out because they felt like they were scared. They was worried. They didn't want to. Niko didn't want to die. He wanted to fight. He was losing the battle because he didn't have the money to pay for it. I feel like this boiled down to money. And this is why Brian McKnight's trying to talk about, I'm not making the money. But it's not a thing where he just only looked at his dad for money. Niko, I feeling like, this is the way I'm feeling it. Like, this is how I'm feeling. Like, I feel like I'm channeling Niko's emotions. And I feel like he's like, Dad, come on, man, I'm dying. Like, you really can't help me. But it's not a thing where it's like, oh, you're expected or he's being entitled. It's more of a thing where it's like, Dad, I don't understand why you've never wanted to love me, allegedly. I feel like it was more on that type of time. You know what I mean? Not him trying to be, you know what I mean, just entitled and stuff like that. I don't feel like it was on that. I feel like Brian McKnight, they were already estranged. They had already had a strained relationship, and I feel like Niko and his mom was a part of the conversation This is what I am seeing, allegedly. But Brian felt like, well, we don't have no relationship, and I feel like he told Niko, well, you basically you on your own. Like, it ain't really, that's not my problem. I don't have nothing to do with that. Like, you and your mom always, I feel like I mean, I don't know what how the whole conversation went, but I'm just feeling like that was Brian McKnight's attitude. Like, he just was like, what do you call it? Like, kind of like a, what are you calling me for? It's like maybe Niko felt and maybe it was a foolish decision or to even call him because he was not going to help. You know what I mean? He didn't care enough. He had already moved on. You know what I mean? Let me see. I think Niko thought reaching out to his dad would help him, would get him a lifeline. Instead, it didn't, allegedly. But this is what I'm seeing in the cards. You know what I mean? So I feel like Brian McKnight could have helped his son, but chose not to. And he lost his life as a result. Just want to remind everybody, this is just my interpretation of the cards. Tell me what you guys think. Do you guys think that Brian McKnight did try to help his son? Or do you think that Brian McKnight was like, I'm not giving you nothing, I don't know why you called me. But he's saying, oh no, we offered to help him because now everybody's looking at him sideways. Thank you, my beautiful soul family, for tuning in. I'll see y'all in the next reading. You have a good one, my babies. And leave me a comment down below telling me what y'all think about this. Have a good one. Bye, my babies.